Earth. Let's talk about space. A New York investment firm wants to send you to space. Well, sort of. Space Talent is a new jobs database launched by Space Angels, a venture capital firm focused on early stage investments in the space economy. Joining us now, friend of the show, Chad Anderson, CEO of Space Angels. Chad, great to have you on with us today.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here, and especially to talk about this.
I know, jobs, jobs, jobs. President Trump would like this story very, very much. Are there enough right now in the space sector to justify a growing database?
Yeah, there's a lot going on. So, I mean, as investors, I think it's really important to hone in on what it is that you do and the value that you provide to the portfolio companies that you invest in. For us, talent has been a key piece of that, and so this is the culmination of a couple of years of work. And we have a database right now with 140 companies and nearly 3,000 jobs.
Is this basically like the Indeed for space?
It is. Well, it's a free platform, so
Yeah.
it's a .org on purpose.
Okay.
There's no money exchanged. It's really to provide value to our portfolio companies and help them to find the talent that they're looking for, as well as the broader industry. Since we're focused on the sector, it's really important for us that everyone finds the talent that they need.
There is a labor crunch right now in the U.S. Who's hiring and what do they need?
So there's a couple of big hirers, as you can imagine. SpaceX and Blue Origin have a lot of jobs posted. In a lot of different disciplines. So you could be anything from an engineer, obviously, a materials engineer, or a barista. They're looking for lawyers. But there's a lot of companies hiring for a lot of different things and a lot of different.
A lot of software too, right?
Yeah. So software is a key high requirement, and advanced degrees as well. So bachelor's and master's degrees. That's important because that means that space companies are competing with the likes of Google and Facebook and Apple for this tech talent. And so we've really dived into the data and tried to pull some of those insights out. We're starting to publish some of that research on the website and help people get a sense of what they need to do to compete for this talent.
In terms of location of these jobs, I mean, Florida, Texas, California, the main places that we think about when we think about launches themselves, or are there other regions that these jobs are located in as well?
Yeah, it's much more broad, and so where I say that space companies are competing with the likes of Google, Apple, Facebook, they're really in the Bay Area, and the cost of living is very, very expensive, as we know. In space, they are hiring in those areas where we're doing rocket launches, but they're also doing a lot of satellites and software, as we mentioned. So they're hiring in across the country, and this is really broadly dispersed everywhere from the coast, Denver, and all throughout the country.
Wow.
How do you see the listings? Some of these are actually, I think, some of your portfolio companies, so clearly you know what they need, but what about the others when you're growing this?
Yeah, so we pull these, we've started, we just launched it this week, and so we've launched with 140 companies, and we are reaching out, and a lot of companies are reaching out to us to be listed as well. And so we have some criteria. We're looking for entrepreneurial companies, so you have to have been founded post-2000, and you have to have raised $1 million in capital. And the idea there is we're really looking for companies that have a jobs board, have open positions, and are looking to hire.
On average, how much do these jobs pay? I mean, I know I studied marketing, and I'm nowhere close to getting one of these, but on average.
So it depends on what function, but for the engineering talent and those advanced degrees that's competing with the likes of the tech companies in the Bay Area, they're paying somewhere around 120 to 140. Space companies are paying more like 100,000. But remember, they don't have to pay for those high costs of living. It's an average nationwide. And so the salaries, regardless, are good for both.
I want to talk about the culture at these companies. Silicon Valley's had a reputation. What are the cultures like inside of space companies?
Each one is really different. And actually another key insight that we pulled out of this data is that job seekers are really in tune to the brand. And so they want to work with companies that have purpose and mission, and the companies that are really well at do a really good job of communicating that are finding it much easier to attract this talent. The thing is, space companies generally, the newer ones, especially when they have tech founders, are really bad at branding themselves. And so that's another key thing that we really try to work with them on is to show them the importance of this and how it helps them to do things like sell their products that also attract talent.
And so which ones are doing the best with that messaging? Where have you seen the most applications come in?
I think SpaceX does a great job. Their brand is essentially synonymous with innovation, right? Continually pushing the boundaries. If you come here, you're going to work hard. But generally speaking, most of the people are there because they believe in the mission, and they want to work hard because they believe in the mission. you're doing really big things, you're helping, you can see how you're contributing to a really, really big mission. I mean, the jobs of the future are going to be global internet, fighting climate change, and helping to take humanity to Mars. And so putting that out there and associating your brand with that is going to help you get the talent.
Leads to the final question about mission, which I know, of course, we've joked about not liking things here on Earth, but I mean, how much of that really is the mission of a Blue Origin, of a SpaceX, to go outside if, let's say, global warming gets worse, climate change doesn't get better?
There's a lot of companies that are working together here, so it's a broad ecosystem, and so we've invested in companies, for example, that are detecting methane from space using satellites. They're doing that and they're launching on some of these other commercial vehicles. They're only able to do that because launch has become low cost and accessible.
But is it more about wanting to find life elsewhere, build a life elsewhere for a big company like a SpaceX or a Blue Origin?
I think that there's a piece of it there. SpaceX's stated mission is to get to Mars, and to colonize Mars. Blue Origin is in a similar bent, is to move industry off planet, and they're focused now on taking us to the moon and beyond. And so, yeah, I think that that's a key piece of their actual mission, and a key reason why some of this top talent is looking to them.
All right, a very exciting slate of positions that has just opened up. Thank you so much for bringing this to us. Chad Anderson is the CEO of Space Angels. Pleasure as always.
Thank you.